Your labs come back normal, but your body feels anything but. You get hungry like it's an emergency. You crash after meals. Lunch turns into a nap you did not ask for. The scale barely moves, even when you eat clean. That contradiction is real, and it is common. Your body is misreading fuel. It is not a motivation problem. It is a timing and signaling problem that shows up as that brutal 2-hour crash. Moving to slide 2. The 2-hour crash is when you feel fine after eating. Then suddenly you are shaky, edgy, foggy, and hunting for a snack. It can feel like low blood sugar, because for a lot of people, blood sugar is dropping fast after a bigger rise. The pattern often starts with a meal that is heavy on fast-digesting carbs, light on protein, and low on fiber. Blood glucose climbs. Insulin rises to move that glucose into cells. If that rise is steep, the drop can be steep too, especially if you are insulin-resistant, underslept, stressed, or you drank the carbs instead of chewing them. Here's what to do today. For 1 week, make breakfast and lunch slow release. Aim for 30 to 40 grams of protein, add a high-fiber carb, and include some fat, not to block carbs, but to slow stomach emptying and stretch the curve. Examples: eggs plus Greek yogurt and berries, chicken or tofu salad with beans. A rice bowl becomes better when you add extra meat, lentils, and vegetables. Then take a 10-minute walk within 30 minutes after the meal. If the crash disappears, you just found the lever, and when it does not, the next clue is how loud your hunger gets. Moving to slide 3. Loud hunger is different from normal hunger. You can be full, then suddenly feel starving. Your brain keeps checking the pantry like it has unfinished business. You crave fast carbs because they are the quickest way to change how you feel. And once you start snacking, it's hard to stop. Treat this like a signal problem, not a willpower test. Build a stop signal into every meal. Protein first, then fiber, then the starch. If you are still hungry 20 minutes later, add more protein or a fiber side, not more crackers. Keep trigger foods out of reach between meals and pre-decide one planned snack with protein, like cottage cheese, a protein shake, or edamame. Also check sleep. One short night can make hunger hormones louder and cravings sharper. When hunger is always shouting, fat loss starts feeling impossible, no matter how disciplined you try to be. Moving to slide 4. When fat loss feels impossible, it usually looks like this. You cut calories, you feel miserable, and nothing changes. Or it changes for a week, then rebounds the moment you diet harder. Part of the frustration is water weight. More carbs and salt refill glycogen, and glycogen pulls water with it, so the scale can jump fast without true fat gain. That makes progress feel random. So tighten the feedback loop. Track waist measurement and average scale weight, not single weigh-ins. Hold calories steady for 2 full weeks before you change anything. Keep protein high so you protect lean mass and stay fuller. Keep strength training in, because losing muscle makes maintenance harder. If you are crash eating at night, fix the 2-hour crash first, or the deficit will not hold. Fat loss is not broken, but your signals may be. And the fastest signal to read is your waistline. Moving to slide 5. Your waistline often changes before the scale does. You can weigh the same, but your pants get tighter, especially around the belly. That shift matters because more abdominal fat is more closely linked with insulin resistance and metabolic risk than fat stored on hips and thighs. Do not guess, measure. Use a tape, same time of day, relaxed belly, after the bathroom, before food. Take 2 spots, at the navel and halfway between your lowest rib and the top of your hip bone. Write it down once a week. If the scale stalls but your waist drops, you are still winning. If the scale drops but your waist does not, you may be losing water or muscle, or you are not addressing the belly pattern. Your waist is a truth teller. Listen to it, and the next set of clues starts showing up where you least expect them. Moving to slide 6. Your skin can be an early dashboard. Darkening at the neck or underarms, velvety patches, lots of skin tags, acne that suddenly gets stubborn, or cuts that take longer to heal can all show up when insulin is running higher than it should. None of these proves anything by itself, but patterns matter. If you notice 2 or 3 together, treat it as useful data, not a cosmetic problem. Your body is already sending feedback, even before you feel tired the next morning. Moving to slide 7. If you sleep a full night and still wake up tired, pay attention. When breathing is disrupted, like snoring, choking, or gasping, your brain keeps flipping into lighter sleep to protect your airway. You can log 8 hours and still miss deep restorative time. That alone can worsen insulin sensitivity the next day, which makes afternoon sleepiness more likely and late-night sugar cravings louder.
Some people also wake up feeling wired, with a fast mind or a tight chest. That can be a stress hormone pattern where cortisol rises too early or too hard. You feel alert but not rested. Then you crash later and reach for quick carbs. What you do tonight matters. Keep alcohol out of the last 4 hours before bed, because it fragments sleep and can worsen snoring. Stop large meals 2 to 3 hours before sleep, especially high-fat, high-sugar combinations. If you suspect apnea, don't guess. Track snoring, ask a bed partner, or use a sleep study. Fixing breathing often fixes cravings, energy, and even those slow creeping numbers at the cuff. Moving to slide 8. Blood pressure rarely jumps overnight. It usually creeps up over years, especially when insulin resistance is building. Higher insulin levels can increase kidney sodium retention and sympathetic nervous system tone, so you hold on to more fluid and your vessels stay a little more constricted. That is why you might notice you're more salt sensitive than you used to be, or you get headaches after a heavy, ultra-processed meal. A rising resting heart rate can be part of the same picture. It can reflect higher baseline stress signaling, poorer sleep, low fitness, or all three at once. And when blood pressure clusters with a growing waist, that combo is a strong clue that the issue is metabolic, not just aging. Make this measurable. Take home readings for a week, same time each day, seated, and average them. Then act on the big levers. Lose a small amount of waist size, add 150 minutes a week of steady cardio, and lift 2 to 3 times weekly. Keep potassium-rich foods high like beans, yogurt, and leafy greens, and reduce packaged sodium bombs. These shifts often travel with quieter changes in your lipid panel too. Moving to slide 9. Lipids can drift the wrong direction quietly. With insulin resistance, triglycerides often trend up and HDL trends down, even if total cholesterol looks fine. That pattern is also associated with more small, dense LDL particles, which are more likely to get into the artery wall. And when the liver is getting too much energy, fatty liver can develop even in people who do not drink much. Ask for the right numbers. Track triglycerides, HDL, and non-HDL cholesterol over time. If triglycerides are climbing, tighten the simplest screws first. Cut sugary drinks and liquid calories, reduce refined starch portions, and keep protein consistent at meals. Add regular walking after meals and 2 to 3 weekly strength sessions. Quiet lipid shifts respond well when you catch them early, and your workouts start to feel different too. Moving to slide 10. If training feels weird, like you are working hard with little result, getting tired too fast, or needing carbs just to get through, that can be metabolic inflexibility. You are not broken. You are just relying on quick fuel because your muscles are not handling glucose and fat as smoothly. Start with consistency, not punishment. Lift weights 2 to 4 days a week with progressive overload, and keep easy cardio truly easy. Add 10 to 20 minutes of walking after your biggest meal to improve glucose handling without crushing recovery. For soreness that lingers, check sleep, protein, and total training volume before blaming age. And if your energy swings wildly day to day, try a higher protein breakfast and a balanced lunch, so you are not chasing crashes with snacks. When training stops feeling unpredictable, it is often a sign your hormones and metabolism are settling. And for many women, the monthly pattern becomes easier to read. Moving to slide 11. If you are a woman, insulin resistance often shows up through your cycle before it shows up on a basic lab panel. Start with patterns you can actually notice. Cycles that get irregular or get farther apart. PMS that feels more intense, especially with stronger cravings for sweets or carbs right before your period. Skin changes like chin acne or new coarse hairs along the jawline or upper lip. Some women also run into fertility struggles, not always, but often enough that it is worth paying attention. And yes, This can overlap with PCOS, although PCOS is a diagnosis and insulin resistance is a driver you can still address. The point is not to self-diagnose. The point is to treat these as clues worth taking seriously, even when your lab printout looks reassuring.
Moving to slide 12. Here's why your labs can mislead you. Fasting glucose can look normal for years. A1C can miss early spikes and crashes because it averages everything together. And insulin is rarely tested, even though it often rises first. An oral glucose tolerance test, ideally with insulin measurements, can reveal the real pattern. Ask for results in full context, not a single number labeled normal. Moving to slide 13. Pick one sign you think fits you most and track it for 2 weeks. That might be cycle timing, cravings, acne, energy dips, or hunger patterns. Then talk with your clinician about targeted labs that match your situation, not just fasting glucose. Choose one daily lever to change first, like a higher protein breakfast, a 10-minute walk after your biggest meal, or cutting liquid sugar. Follow up, adjust, and repeat until the trend improves. If this helped, subscribe for more practical health guides. Comment with the one sign you want to track this week. This content is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Control insulin. Control your biology.